Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is the join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that. Well, by now, I'm pretty sure if you follow Zambian news, you must have come across this face that you see on screen right now. That's the Member of Parliament for Mambilima. So yesterday, when President Hakainde Hichilema was addressing the nation, he had two public addresses. One to Parliament, which was to do with the moral standing of the nation, and it was a speech to Parliament. And then later on, he had a speech with mostly UNZA students and other students from surrounding universities in Lusaka, but it was predominantly University of Zambia students. So during that interaction in Parliament, this Member of Parliament did something in Parliament. I'll read you that. So you can see from the news that is trending today. This is from yesterday's highlights, but it's because the newspapers take a day or a couple of hours before they are published. So Jane Chisenga confronts Hakainde Hichilema. They read in abbreviating President Hakainde Hichilema's name as HH, saying "Stop the lies." That's what she was shouting in Parliament as the president was exiting. And then part of the speech that the president was giving was saying, "Do not arrest if not ready." Like, this is one thing that the president has been telling the police, to say, if you have no substantial evidence, do not arrest people. And if you do arrest them, if it's a bailable offense, let them be bailed out immediately. But what has been happening is contrary to that. So that's probably one of the things that triggered the Member of Parliament to start screaming in Parliament, saying "Fiabo Fiol or Wufi." And Chief Etayari posted something with that. So this is the video that you see down there. So initially, the president, after his address, he was walking out of Parliament. Then the Member of Parliament started shouting. So Chief Etayari says, face to face with the president. What did she tell the president? Listen to the encounter. So youngest female MP, Jean Chisenga, Jean Chisenga of Mambilima constituency, becomes the first Zambian to confront Hakainde Hichilema face to face and call him a liar. Ubufi Bwachiramo. So, which is just Bemba for saying like too many lies. That phrase that she was shouting. Ubufi Bwachiramo. She was heard saying, to the annoyance of the president, who was seen turning back, turning and following her to talk to her. She faced him and stood her ground. And so as the president was exiting, that's when she shouted to say, meaning like too many lies. Then the president turned. Instead of exiting Parliament, he went to where she was seated in this video, and then they had an exchange. Now, this exchange that happened between the president and the Member of Parliament, Jean Chisenga, no one actually knows because it wasn't audible. The mics were off in Parliament, and the president was just more like de-escalating the situation and having a one-to-one conversation. So, like, when you hear it from members of Parliament that are nearby, those that are pro-PF would say she persisted in saying further, like telling the president off. What is those that are UPND would say, no, that the president de-escalated the situation, and that's how everything was calm. But the interaction was over just a couple of seconds. So both sides have got their own version of the truth, because there are no audios that have come out of the interaction between the president and Jean Chisenga, the Mambilima member of parliament. So it is politics. The UPND say the president was de-escalating the situation, which it looks like. What is the PF saying? No, the lady was doubling down, telling off the president that he's lying and he should reduce on those lies. So after this address at Parliament, the president drove right next to. It's a walkable distance. The new Kenneth Kaunda wing pretty much faces Parliament building. So when you exit Parliament building, I'm pretty sure the president has got a special entrance at the back. But for normal people, like if you're just from the general public, you use the main entrance. But there's an entrance that is near Parliament. So I'm pretty sure that's where the president used. So right from Parliament, the president went to have a youth endeavor at Mungushi International Conference Center, the Kenneth Kaunda wing. So during this interaction again, so as you can see on screen there, on the big screen, that's President Hakainde Hichilema seated. What is in the balcony up there, UNZA students, and then at the bottom, the ground floor, it's pretty much like officials and senior government officials. So the students up there started shouting something. This is another example of like if you're on one side, you can easily run with the story of what they're shouting because it's not really audible that you can hear. So Chief Etayari says what he seems to have heard from the particular video of the UNZA students. Chief Etayari says, if only you had accepted to work with me, meaning Chief Etayari, if the UPND had accepted to work with him, I would have helped. I would have helped you, but look now, what is befalling on you? UNZA, thank you for leading the way to tell Bari, meaning President Hakainde Hichilema, that we are tired of these lies. It is time for him to pack and go. He has failed. That's what Chief Etayari interpreted in that video. But really, when you listen to the video, you hear nothing of that nature. Yes, there are students with pods and stuff like that are clapping. You can interpret it either way because the president was just smiling and just watching them because he's a former UNZA student. He understands how it works, monks and momos. So, and most of the people that usually attend these endeavors at Mungushi Conference Center are usually selected students that are usually pro-government. So you don't expect them to do anything radical. So it must have been just a chant, but Chief Etayari says no, it was a chant against President Hakainde Hichilema in the line of doubling down to what the area MP had said with regard to the lies, which I highly doubt that's the case because the students that are usually in these arrangements are pretty much handpicked and selected. Because at the end of this interaction, there's usually some sort of payment. They call it either lunch allowance or sitting allowance, something of that nature. They get some money. So why would the student compromise getting that money and make that noise for to what end? So that's where I doubt this because I know how I'm a former UNZA student, so I know how that works. There's usually some sort of payment. They call it sitting allowance, lunch allowance, transport, whatever. They'll put a tag on it. But yeah, there's money at the end of the day. And so why would those students compromise that money for what? To what end? So that's why I doubt those chants were anti-government. Most likely it should have just been some sort of praise towards the president. After all, there are handpicked people that attend that. So, but then again, the truth in Chief Etayari's statement is where he says, if only you had accepted to work with me. That's where the issue is. And if you have noticed, one thing about President Hakainde Hichilema is he does not compromise on loyalty. That's one thing that seems to stand out about him. Chief Etayari, for a couple of months, has been insisting and trying to work with the UPND government. He's made efforts. I think I would pretty much roughly down to 4 to 6 months. So he's been anti-Edgar Lungu and anti-PF. He's tried his efforts to work with the UPND. But because of what he did during the build-up in the 2021 elections, President Hakainde Hichilema is not willing to work with him. Neither is the UPND. Because it comes off like he's a hired gun. So he goes to the highest bidder. So whoever has the money at the time, whoever has the resources, Chief Hatayari will align with that particular individual, which President Hakainde Hichilema is not for. For him, it has to be clear cut. If you're on his side, you are on his side. If not, then move aside. That's how it works. Because for a while he's been trying to reach out to the UPND, no, let's work together, and then shooting at Edgar Lungu. But then again, the question comes in, because anybody that is very sensible and logical is able to see right through what Shifetari is trying to do. Because Shifetari is still out here in public because Edgar Lungu bailed him out. If you remember, Shifetari has been convicted over the assault case. He was convicted and fined 20,000 kwacha. The person that paid that 20,000 kwacha is Edgar Chagalungu. He admitted it himself. This is information that came to the public based off what Shifetari said. So then again, if someone that is able to come to your aid like that, and you're able to shoot at them, what chance does President Hakainde stand? So whoever has the highest money goes to, that's what you work for. And President Hakainde is not having none of that. And that's where the issue has been. Because there was a time that he even put up a post to say, I'm neither UKA Alliance, which is pretty much Edgar Lungu, and neither am I UPND Alliance, which is pretty much President Hakainde Hichilema. So meaning he's serving his own interests. So whoever pays him at the moment, then you work with that person. But the danger with the line of work that Shifetayari wants to propagate or push is that he gets to have access to those people. For example, he had close access to President Edgar Chagalungu, which makes him vulnerable and easy to use against his personal agenda and propaganda. Because as you saw, he said pretty much bashing President Edgar Chagalungu, saying he's not fit, he cannot beat the president, I mean, he cannot beat the incumbent president, he's fighting a lost cause. But then again, when he wants to move into the UPND camp, he pretty much wants to have access to information that is around President Hakainde Hichilema, so that when it fits him at the later stage, he can use it against him, which I think President Hakainde Hichilema reads right through him. Because obviously he's going to be on payroll. The amount of resources that he's going to have access to, we will enable Shifetayari to have access to proper lawyers. So if he decides to do one of his stunts against whether the government or Edgar Lungu, he's able to get the best of the lawyers in the system. So the UPND are having none of that. He has tried his level best to work with them, to advocate, but nope. President Hakainde Hichilema does not work like that. It's either you're on his side or you're an enemy. Simple as that. So that it's really his realization that has made him say if only the UPND had worked with him, he would have done a damage control with regard to the UNZA students here. What can you do in that case? Anyway, he's free to do as he wishes. Anyway, President Hakainde Hichilema further on congratulates the 1,000 Zambia National Service recruits pass out today in Kabwe. Your determination, resilience is something to admire. And now it's time for you to save the country. Congratulations once more, and keep up upholding discipline and dedication to the nation, family, and individual duties. And a job well done to ZNS Command and ensuring that these youths acquired desired skill to defend and protect our country, Zambia. President Hakainde Hichilema signs it off. So these are the highlights from the pass out. So this is Lufuma Minister of Defense. If you remember, it should have been last year where President Hakainde Hichilema walked in the rain also doing a pass out. Should have been a Zambia Army pass out. And so Lufuma is simply replicating what his boss has done, because it would have been very awkward if he decided to stay in the tent when his boss, President Hakainde Hichilema, walked in the rain. So it was just expected. So people are treating him at this to say, look, it's a good picture where you join the soldiers in the rain. These are some of the pictures from the pass out. Earlier on, it was a rainy day. These are ZNS officials. So most of these ones on screen are ladies, and probably the gentlemen are in the back. So out. Just second, the internet is having its own issues, bringing back slides that we've gone through. So once it figures itself out. And then the president was at SDHH today. This is where he was with the first lady, Mutinta Hichilema. She's been off the grid mostly. I think her personality is simply privacy. She loves her privacy, but she shows up where she's required. So pretty much she's been off the grid. I think most part of this year, she's rarely seen in public. She prefers taking a back seat. Only when in duty calls, that's when she shows up, or when it's required. So today she stepped out with the president. They went to church, SDHH in Woodlands, and they took a number of beautiful pictures. So this was the interaction with the congregants there, and this particular hug, as the First Lady watches on, seems to have got the public's attention. People who know the individuals in the picture are commenting on it. That's the First Lady, interaction probably with the pastors. And then these are shots from the service itself that the president had this Sabbath. Otherwise, it's been a beautiful, rainy day in Lusaka. I think most of the country has been rainy also. Yeah, so that's what the day has been like for the president. That's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Channel. Make sure you click on the subscribe button, you click on the notifications to get the notifications of every video that I upload. I try to upload every week, sometimes every day of the week, but definitely each week you expect a video. So make sure you click on the subscribe, like this video, and there's much more on the playlist. So visit the channel and see you around.